Bitcoin just did it again. Don't be fooled by short-term price action because the big picture right now is absolutely crazy. I've got big news for you out of Brazil today. But of course, the big story everyone wants to talk about is the inflation news. What is going on with that? Well, spoiler alert, inflation came in good. Markets are up. It keeps happening like that, doesn't it? People like to fade. People put way too much emphasis on short-term price action without seeing the big picture. I try to talk about the big picture a lot here on the channel. We talk about some of the short-term noise as well because it's interesting, it's fun. But big picture, look what's happening. Let's talk, of course, first about those rate cuts. And look, the S&P 500 hit a new all-time high today, just by a little tiny hair, but it did. It did. It liked the inflation news. Great. I'm sure Bitcoin will have done the same. We'll look at that in a minute, of course. Lynn Alden here pointing out, although still well above the target rate, CPI this morning came in slightly soft versus consensus expectations. So core CPI 3.4%. Actual expected was 3.5. Core CPI down 3.3%. Estimate was 3.4. So generally, inflation down a little bit this month, not by a lot, but just a little bit, which is fine. That's enough. Kabizi letter sharing prediction markets officially price in 2 interest rate cuts this year after CPI inflation data coming in. The odds of no cut have fallen from 33 to 24% over the last few minutes, according to this guy. Meanwhile, markets implied odds of exactly 2 rate cuts have spiked from 21 to 35%. Less than 2 months ago, the base case showed 0 rate cuts in 2024, with odds of rate hikes spiking. 6 months ago, markets showed a base case of 6 interest rate cuts in 2024. Make up your minds, market. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. The inflation data today would seem to indicate that things are kind of just still moving along in generally the right direction. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to get rate cuts very soon. Prediction markets are just that. They're prediction markets. Right now, the Fed basically staying course. The status quo is being maintained. They are looking at the inflation as still too high. They want 2%. It's over 3%. Quite simply, it's 60 or 70% above where they would prefer it to be. So they might keep rates higher for longer. Now, rate hikes, pretty unlikely at this point. The question is, when do they start cutting? How much more damage do they plan to do before the first rate cuts actually come in? Caleb here pointing out, don't get too far ahead of yourself. The CPI data is exactly what the Fed wants to see, but it's insufficient to start cutting rates. They need time-based disinflationary progress. The 3 and 6 month Treasury yields are still saying no cuts in the next 6 months. Well, look forward to next month's inflation data, of course. I liked this meme shared by Bitcoin Therapist showing how the economy works. This is Jerome Powell walking in circles. Oh, let's do some quantitative easing. Oh, inflation's high. Oh, let's raise the rates. Oh, soft landing. Oh, recession. Oh, lower rates. Oh, the economy's weak again. Time to do QE again. And round we go. That's modern monetary theory. Massive manipulation by the central banks. Now, we have massive news today out of Bitcoin. Big news out of Brazil. I want to talk about the Bitcoin charts as well, because I know what you're thinking. Oh, the S&P 500 went to a new all-time high today. Bitcoin's probably a new all-time high today too. Well, more on that in a second. But first, real quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is iTrust.Capital. If you would like to enjoy tax-free crypto trading, you might want to look into iTrust. They allow you to bring over your existing IRA, start a new one, roll over your other 3-letter, 3-number retirement plans, and you can trade as much as you want over here without hitting a taxable event. Imagine that, 1,000 trades, not getting taxed once on any of it. That's pretty darn cool, right? If you've been trading crypto, you know how much taxes suck, okay? This helps you legally sidestep all that by using a retirement account. 365 days a day, years a day, 24/7. Like crypto markets actually are unlike Bitcoin, Ethereum, ETFs, only trade Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. This meets you where you are in the crypto markets. They even have physical gold and silver via the partnership with Kitco. Low cost, no monthly fees, and they are the biggest crypto IRA provider in the game. If you'd like to learn more, link in the description. You can get a $100 funding bonus as well. So check it out. Thanks, I Trust again for sponsoring today's conversation. So the price of Bitcoin. Wait a second. What sorcery is this? The S&P 500, it's at new all-time high. Bitcoin, what are you doing? Get up, you lazy. You lazy Bitcoin. Get off your butt. What's going on here? Yes. Bitcoin is not a new all-time high today because Bitcoin. That's why. Deal with it. Basically. Now, what's interesting, I made the video yesterday sharing about the sentiment in the market and everyone freaking out because we are essentially retesting the 50-day EMA and hitting major areas of price support, and everybody loses their minds. And then what happens? Oh, look, again, we have the CPI data come in. The world's not melting. Fed's not raising interest rates or anything like that. Everything's fine in markets. And the price starts pumping back higher. Now, currently, we have not yet got a bullish engulfing candle. We're basically spot on equal to the previous day's candle body. So we'll see how the daily close comes. It's still 10 hours away from the time that I'm recording this video. So maybe we get a little bit push up, and that'd be a nice bullish engulfing to push back up and retest 72K again. Remember, I like this to make this very, very clear. Until we cross over $72,000, expect more consolidation in the range. Yesterday, we went down to $66,000 and some change. That's within the range. That's nothing dramatic. That's nothing crazy. And if you think that's a crazy move, then you're over leveraged. Quite simply, that's a baby move. That's nothing. That's not even worth getting out of bed over. That's just whatever. Bitcoin doing Bitcoin stuff. If these kind of moves freak you out, you're probably overexposed or over leveraged. So keep that in mind. We are seeing massive consolidation happening. We've been seeing massive consolidation happening for a while. Of course, we had the big initial sell-off. That was a 25% or something correction all the way down to 56K here. Guys, remember that? Everyone was freaking out back then, man. War or something or whatever FUD event of the day. Got everybody losing their minds. Then here we are. Look. All we did was retest key area of price support, flipping previous resistance into support. Let's see. Again, 72K, that's the number to beat. Okay, so until that happens, don't get too excited. When we see 72K taken out with a nice decisive green candle with some volume backing it up, then we might be able to get a little bit excited, but then it's probably just going to go up a little bit, come back down to retest 72K and then launch off, because that's the kind of fake outs that this market loves to do to you. So be prepared for those kind of things. Until then, just accept there's going to be volatility. There's going to be sideways chop, which is basically what we're going on with right now. Nothing too crazy happening. Guys, the price of Bitcoin's at $69,000. It got all the way down to $66,000 yesterday. Who's freaking out over this? This is great. The price of Bitcoin's in the $60,000 range. Go back a year ago, everybody would be praying for this. Here we are, just chilling, man. It's great. We'll love to see it. Chris Berniski saying people getting too bearish. That was from yesterday, but he's right. He said most things look solid. The volume is minor today. The flush later this weekend. The springboard. He said you look at this chart and choose to be bearish. Why? That's exactly right. This is not like a chart that's blowing off the top of the market. You know, just think about it. Think about where we are still in the moving in the direction of. Circle CEO saying crypto is in the best position it's ever been in. You do understand this, right? This is why I keep talking about the big picture. I know we talk about short-term price noise. It's interesting. We all like talking about, it's like talking about weather, right? The big picture, though, what are you actually investing in? What's your actual investment thesis in this marketplace? And most people don't have an investment thesis. They just show up and hope to make some money by throwing money into, you know, Iggy Azalea's butt or whatever it might be. Fine, everybody has to have hobbies, I guess. But for people who are here to get financial freedom and keep financial freedom, you have to understand the big picture of what you're investing in. And Jeremy Allaire is completely right. Crypto is in the best position, literally, that it's ever been in. Bitcoin ETFs proliferating across the globe. Hong Kong, Australia, the UK, the USA, Canada, and Brazil from a couple years ago. Other countries, South Korea probably coming pretty soon. Other countries probably, Thailand threw out some Bitcoin ETFs for institutions the other day, but still big things are happening. More fiat on-ramps than have ever existed. Base seasons here. Solana meme coin craziness is here. All this stuff is happening. And of course, it's getting to be a big political issue too. And look at this news that came out today. This is absolutely massive. 60 million customers at Brazil's Itaú Bank, largest bank in Brazil, can now start buying Bitcoin. Think about how insane that is. Coinbase has 120 million customers. This is half as big as that. Now, obviously, look, not all the 60 million customers are going to go buy Bitcoin. Obviously. But what if a million do? What if a million people put $100 into Bitcoin at this bank? Or a few $100? That's a lot of money real quick, isn't it? Real quick. This is the fiat on-ramp tsunami that we're seeing. It's not just the ETFs. The US ETFs are getting all the attention right now. It's just a tiny tip of the iceberg. Tiny tip of the iceberg. Okay, so if you can't see the big picture, I don't know what to tell you, because it's a crazy picture. If you're looking at all the little pieces and putting it all together, man, what are we doing in crypto right now? It's absolutely insane. And of course, this has become the Bitcoin election as well. President, former president, probably future president, just the way it is, guys. Trump, he said, after meeting with the CEO of Bitcoin Magazine and the top US Bitcoin miners, he said he wants all the remaining Bitcoin to be mined in the USA. He said Bitcoin mining may be our last defense against a central bank digital currency. He said Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only helps China, Russia, and the radical communist left. Read that in Trump voice. Biden's hatred of Bitcoin only helps China, Russia, and the radical communist left. Okay, it's a terrible Trump impression. Anyway, he said when all the remaining Bitcoin made in the USA. Look, it's very, very interesting that I have no idea what this guy does if he gets reelected, what he's actually going to do for the crypto industry. Okay, politicians will say whatever it takes to get elected. Okay, in case you're new around the political scene, that's kind of how the game works. That being said, what if he does fulfill some of this stuff? I mean, Trump has actually been getting involved in crypto. The dude owns Ethereum. He sold NFTs. It's very interesting, isn't it? And of course, all these people are out there trying to orange peel him on Bitcoin. And it is a winning political issue because in America, was it 20% of the population owns crypto or something like that? That's a massive group of swing voter potential. Okay. It's been interesting. You don't have to like Trump. I get it. I get it. But if you are a pro crypto voter, then you have two choices: Trump or RFK Jr. RFK Jr.'s chances, I don't know. It would be great to see someone like that. I feel like it's a person who has the right ideas. I'm not trying to get too political here, but the system, I don't know if the system's ready for someone like that. Trump, though, he's the leading candidate by all polls right now, and he's pro crypto. So make of that what you will. Meanwhile, the Democrats, Bitcoin Archive here saying, imagine if the Democrats politicized the internet in the 1996 election and allowed the Republicans to become the party of the internet. Well, that's what the Dems are doing now with Bitcoin and crypto more broadly. Just think of it. Just think of it. This is the crypto election, and one party is very anti-crypto, and one party is very pro-crypto. Plus RFK Jr., very pro-crypto. I feel like RFK gets it more, is more authentic perhaps in his position. But hey, you know, if Trump's getting orange pilled, you never know, man. Things can get real crazy real fast. And regardless of your political opinions on any of the characters involved, I don't really care who you guys vote for. Do whatever you want. That's the point of democracy, right? But you can't argue the fact that things have got real crazy real fast, and that this is the crypto election in the USA in 2024. It has become a major political issue where all candidates are forced to now have an opinion on it. And that's crazy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.